The Saskatchewan Roughriders go to Cowtown on Saturday, where the green and white duel against the Calgary Stampeders in a battle of 1-1 teams. Trevor Harris threw for over 400 yards in last week's loss, while Jake Maier is still looking to get comfortable at the controls for the Stamps. Calgary is a 3.5-point favorite in this one. Do you think there's still value in taking the points?
Definitely there's value in taking the points and the Roughies on the money line. When you hear this podcast or watch it on YouTube, you got to get your money down before this line changes, because I can't understand how the Roughriders are getting 3 in the hook on the road for as good as they have looked. And there's a possibility that Derek Moncrief could be back in some form or fashion on defense. Craig Dickinson said he probably wouldn't start, but he likes to play things coy. So I think Moncrief back in the lineup could be a real bonus for that defense. And Trevor Harris seems to have all kinds of confidence and quickly developed a rhythm with these receivers in his receiving core. Sean Bain Jr. has had this one circled ever since leaving Calgary to go to Saskatchewan and get paid properly. So he's coming off a great game against the Blue Bombers. His confidence is high. I like Saskatchewan to win. Straight up, spread, money line, put your money down, count all that green cash.
The one concern I have here for the Riders is last season when the Bombers went into Mosaic Stadium on Labor Day and the Bombers beat the Riders. Craig Dickinson talked about how that kind of deflated his team because the Riders played very well in that game, came away with a narrow loss. I believe Mark Leggio kicked a 55-yard field goal for the W. And they came out of the Banjo Bowl next week, albeit with stomach flu ravaging the team, but just played terribly, got their butts whipped. So to me, my only concern in this one, as great as the Riders played last week, they played very well despite losing by, I think it was 17 points. Are they going to come out deflated again? Because they played a great game against their Prairie rivals and still lost by a sizable margin. That said, it is still early in the season, so maybe that type of performance buoys the Riders a little bit. I'm not willing to go crazy on this spread. I would say up to +3. I'm happy to take the Riders, take the points, and beyond +3. Under +3, I'd be tempted to take the Stamps because I do think the Stampeders are going to win this game straight up at home, but I think it's going to be very close. So if you can get +3 or higher, again, I like the Riders. Under that, I'm a little skeptical.
With all due respect, Hodge, the performance of the team last year in a game where they were plagued by diarrhea and vomit plays no part in my decision-making here on this spread.
That was the Banjo Bowl. Didn't you say Labor Day?
The one afterwards when they had
Labor
the stomach
Day.
flu. Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
right.
That plays no part in my decision here. I love the Riders in this matchup, and it comes down to quarterbacks. Trevor Harris looked far better in his game last week. 400 yards passing. I thought it was a legitimate performance from him. It wasn't inflated at all. He looked crisp despite the injury. And Jake Maier, he threw for 300 yards. People are going to be higher on him this week than they were in the past. But 2/3 of that, almost 200 yards, came after the catch. He's still dinking and dunking his way down the field, relying on his receivers on screens. That's not a way to win consistently in the CFL. So give me the Riders because I trust Trevor Harris.